Hi, my name is Dr. Gozdalski. I'm a chiropractor, and today I'll be showing you my general recommendations for hip stretches, but also for lower body stretches as well. So this is focusing on the thighs and the calves as well. Please address them in relevance to what is important for you. So if you're focusing on just hip stretches, focus on those. And if you're focusing on calf stretches, address those as you can. We're going to be placing them in tabs in order so you can jump relative to what you want and when you focus on. When you are doing these on your own, please make sure that you're taking it gradually and you are doing it appropriately as can be. The most important thing when it comes to stretching is to make sure that you're doing it to a point where you feel the stretch, but not to the point where there's pain. If you're feeling pain, you need to back off because the point is to feel stretch and not to be feeling pain while doing so. Make sure you're breathing in, relaxing, and letting go during the process. Let's get started. Now, what do we want to have? We would like to have some sort of big open space. If you have a yoga mat, that'll be fine. If you have some sort of larger area in your living room, such as a rug, that works as well. If need be, and the bed's all you've got, we'll make do with what we have. Now, like I said, make sure that you've got a space that is large enough, but also clothes that are form-fitting so that they're flexible. You don't want to be wearing tight jeans while doing these stretches. Focusing first on the front of the hips, and they'll be focusing on the back of the hips or the glutes. We're going to be starting off in a tabletop position like so. Focusing first on my left side. I'm going to be going briefly into a high plank position, bring my right foot to my right hand, bring that left knee down, and chest up. This is our first proper position. And all I'm going to be doing from here is pushing that left hip forward and tilting my chest back. Now, ideally, you should be feeling a stretch just along here, along that left side, and nowhere else. If you feel it going a little bit into the thigh, that is normal, because that muscle that's starting up high here on the hip does go all the way down as far as the thigh and the knee. When you're doing this on your own, I want you to put a timer on for 60 seconds, breathe, and like I said at the beginning, look for a point where you're feeling a stretch, but not pain. If you're going so far that you're feeling pain, back off a little bit, ease, and look for that right sweet spot. To get out, hands both back down, and feet back. Let's do it for the right side now. I'll give you a little bit of a different angle. High plank. Now, if we're doing it for the right hip, that left foot is going forward. Bring that right knee down, relax that right foot. Again, bring that hip forward and lean the chest back. I like to place my hand on the back of my hip or on the side of my hip just to give that little bit of extra push so I can really feel that stretch that's going along here. Like I said before, 60 seconds. If you need to put a timer on, go for it. Some sort of relaxing music, and you should be okay. Both hands back down and relax. Now, focusing on the back of the hips or the glutes. One of my favorite stretches to do is the pigeon stretch. Once again, we're focusing primarily on that left side, high plank for just a brief second. And what you're gonna do is bring that knee underneath and across at an angle beneath the hip. Some people have a little bit angled down towards the knee. Some people have it angled really high up like so. I like to go in the middle. I'm not saying one or the other is better, but I find that middle of the road typically is a good position for that. Relax that back foot, back knee should be down, and sometimes in this position, you're already going to be feeling a stretch, primarily in the back of the left hip, right where your butt is. If you're not feeling anything, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging, bringing one elbow down and then the other one as well. Just like all the other stretches, breathe, relax, 60 seconds minimum, and just take your time with it. From here, we're going to be going back onto our hands, both feet back into high plank, and we're switching to the other side. I'm switching my angle just so you guys can get a different perspective on it. Once again, high plank. If we're focusing on the right side, knee is going beneath the hip. So you can kind of see it from the front as well. At an angle, kind of between the hip and the knee, like so. If this is as far as you can go, that's as far as you can go. Don't force it, don't push it. If you observe that one side is tighter than the other, don't fight it. Go to a point, like I keep on saying, where it is strong and intense, but tolerable. If there's pain, back off. If you are not feeling any stretch whatsoever though, once again, try putting one elbow down and then the other one. 60 seconds, breathe, and relax. Now, this is where we're going to be focusing primarily on the back of the thighs or the hamstrings. I like to recommend some sort of elevated surface. So if you have a couch, that'll be fine, but we want something that's going to be sturdier. So if you have a dining room table, or if you even have stairs, because those can kind of go proportionally, try to go for that. But something that's high, and if you need something on your side for balance, that works as well. So from here, we're basically going to be doing two positions on each side. One for the one leg, one for the other leg. Starting off, both feet are facing straight forward like so. From here, we're going to be starting off with our left leg. Left foot is facing in the same direction. From there, I like to place my hands on top of my thighs, stand nice and tall, take a deep breath in, and when I breathe out, I just want to slide my hands along that leg and get to a point where I feel that stretch, but I'm not forcing it anywhere else. Could I go further? Yeah, but I want to be at a point where I just feel that stretch on the back of the thigh. Like every other position, 60 seconds, breathe, putting on some relaxing music, Yanni, Enya, whatever your preference is, and relax. After that 60 seconds is complete, take a deep breath in, come back up. This top leg does not move. This bottom leg, which was facing straight forward, we are now turning outwards. You can kind of see how my feet are shifting position. And you might already feel a little bit more of a stretch on the inside of the thigh. Once more, deep breath in, hands on top of the thighs, and exhale, just kind of sliding your legs going down. And if all you're getting down to is a thigh, that's fine. If you can make it down to your calf, power to you as well. 60 seconds, breathe, relax. For the sake of this video, we're not going to be doing 60 seconds. This is more educational to show you what's what. Once you're up, relax and back off. Now, same thing, right side. Both feet facing in the exact same direction, straight forward ahead of you. Heel on top, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, just slide those hands down the leg. Once you're done with that 60 seconds, come back up. Top leg does not move. Bottom leg, outwards, 9 degrees, opposite direction. Now I'm facing this wall that's right in front of me. Once more, deep breath in, and on the exhale, just slide those hands down the leg. And I keep on repeating 60 seconds. If you want to keep it up a little bit longer, 90 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes, that's perfectly fine. But 60 seconds minimum is the key thing. Next, I'll be showing you one of two variations I like for quad stretches, or the front of the thighs. The first one's a little bit easier, and it's going to be standing. Now, I like to make sure that I like to have something for balance if I need it, so I can grab onto if I'm a little bit wobbly and wavy, but it's fairly simple. Making sure that I do have that balance support and assist, grabbing onto the calf or the ankle, and just pulling back. Simple as that. Now, a couple of important details. Make sure that those knees are straight and you're pulling consistently. If you're finding that you have a little bit of a difficulty to grab onto the back, you can always try to grab on with a belt or a band of some sort. Basically something that's going to be assisting you if you are having mobility restrictions. And just going so like that. And obviously making sure you address it from both sides as well. The last stretch for the front of the quads I'd like to do is a little bit more aggressive. So make sure that you're doing this if A, mobility allows, but likewise, if you're finding that that previous stretch just isn't cutting it quite enough. For this one, some sort of elevated surface, I like to use a mat because we have that available at our clinic, but at home, if you have some sort of dining room table or even a couch cushion that's a little bit higher, that works as well. What we're doing is placing that foot on top, and from there, I'm frequently just going down into a low single leg lunge position and laying that weight bare into this knee. Now I want this knee to be as straight as possible and maybe even tilting the chest back a little bit. It can be a little bit of a stronger stretch, so make sure that you have support for it if you need it, and likewise, you breathe during it. Same things for both sides. Knee down, breathe, and relax. 60 seconds. These next two for the calf will depend largely on what you have available at home. If you have stairs, this is my preferred recommendation. However, if you do not have stairs, then we have something else that we can use instead. But assuming that you do have stairs, we're going to take a step so that both heels are kind of hanging off the edge while your toes are just lightly on top. Let that weight just go right into the heels and relax. You might feel a stretch immediately. You want that weight to be the thing that's really pulling those heels down. If with both feet, however, you are not feeling a deep enough of a stretch, switch to one leg. Ease off. You can let that other leg go up a step higher or just dangle off or relax to the side, whatever you want. But the important thing is that that weight is on that one leg. 60 seconds minimum, just like we keep on repeating, and switch sides. Now, I want you to focus and be aware of the fact that I'm keeping my knees perfectly straight. The reason is because you have two muscles in the back of the calf that are responsible for this section. One of them is going to be stretched more when that knee is straight. The other one, when the knee is just slightly bent. You might have to play around with it a little bit to find that good angle, but you'll probably feel a difference in stretch as soon as you go from that straight knee to just a slight bend in the knee afterwards as well. It'll be very slight. 60 seconds and move on. Now, if you do not have stairs available to you, next best thing is a door or a nice sturdy wall. The reason why I like that stair one is because gravity is doing all the work for you, and you don't really have to do anything addition to that. These same stretch with a wall or with a door, you're gonna have to be exerting a little bit of force, and the stretch is gonna be thanks to you just doing work. So I like the other one because you just get to be a bystander for it. But if you do not have stairs available, what we're gonna be doing is placing the heel down just before the door and then place that foot on top of it. Now, knee is gonna be straight, and what I'm gonna be using is my back leg. My shoes get a little bit squeaky, I guess. I'm gonna be using my back leg to really push forward so I can feel a stretch in that back calf. Again, this stretch is present so long as I'm exerting force and pushing with my back foot. If you're okay with doing that for a minute, fantastic. Make sure you bend that knee slightly as well, like we've been doing with the other stretch as well. 60 seconds and relax, switch. Heel down at a pretty steep angle, rest that foot, knee straight, and then push, feeling that stretch in the calf. 60 seconds. Keep that force, but bend the knee ever so slightly. Relax, and let go.